Welcome to another episode. So on this episode, we've got my longest standing client. He's one of my first ever clients where I started out coaching on my own.
How are you, Big Geoff?
Very well. Pleasure to be here. Right. Slightly nervous, but
that's
what it's all about, though, isn't it?
We've done some great things since you've obviously been on the team. Obviously, you're into your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which we'll go into in a bit. Obviously, when you joined the team, we've got you ready for a photo shoot, which is the best shape you've ever been in your life.
Yeah,
now
definitely.
we're prepping for a bodybuilding show. Is it 10 weeks out or 11 weeks out? 12 weeks out now. So, yeah, you've absolutely smashed it on your journey so far, and it's only getting better, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So, tell us a bit about sort of your fitness journey now. You actually even got into it.
Well, I've pretty much trained on and off since probably leaving school, but just find it hard to stick to it. I feel like I'd train for a certain period of time, feel like I was getting nowhere, stop, life would get in the way, start again, and pretty much go through the same cycle of doing it, feeling like there's no progression and just giving up like a lot of people do. I think probably the biggest negative aspect of when I do train is never having my diet on point. Feel like because you're training, you can just eat what you want, and you're going to get the gains that you sort of see plastered on social media, what other people are getting, and obviously it just doesn't work that way.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
Was that your biggest challenge on food, would you say?
I've always had an issue with food. I've struggled with being overweight probably since being a young teenager. When I transitioned from, say, like year 9 to year 10 in school, because I shot up, I lost a lot of weight. And I wouldn't say I had a great physique, but I sort of changed from a boy to a man in that period, and then it's kind of just sort of went downhill again after school.
What got you into the gym then? Obviously, you mentioned there when you first started, sort of what was your reason for starting training?
Seeing all the old school bodybuilders, Arne, Ronnie Coleman, Jay Cutler, Dorian. Obviously it's and all like the movie stars. It's every boy's dream to look like a movie star. But again, it's just something that I never feel like I could have achieved because I didn't have anything in place like I have now. And meeting you guys has changed the game.
Yeah, definitely. So when you were talking about weight a minute ago and being overweight, was that like the main driver as well for you to get into
definitely.
the gym?
I've always suffered with insecurity all my life. Never sort of felt proud and I looked at myself in the mirror. I'm not a bad looking lad, but it was always sort of counteracted by feeling insecure by the way that I look. Never felt good enough.
Where do you think that stems from?
It's hard to say. I probably couldn't give you a particular reason. Probably just something that's quite deep rooted.
What you don't know about yet. Yeah, it's one of them. So I know obviously you talked a little bit about food struggle and stuff like that, and there'll be people watching today who struggle with food still, and they can't move forward because I know you was pretty much in that cycle for the majority of your life so far, weren't you? So what was your struggle like? What was the habits like? What was the behaviours?
I think one of the biggest aspects that caused the food issues was cannabis. I smoked weed from being probably 14, 15 years old, and everybody knows the munchies come with that. So I generally did eat meal-wise quite healthy food, always home-cooked meals made from fresh produce, from living at home with my mum, cooking my own food, to when I moved in with my partner, it's like she cooks home-cooked food every day. But portion control. I could be eating a home cooked meal made with fresh healthy produce, but if my plate's like mountainous, it's counterproductive. And then once the evening time comes and the children go to bed, that's when the snack cupboard opens and just eat shit all night. And like, people don't realise you can eat a couple of days worth of calories in one sitting just by snacking on basically sugar out the cupboard, biscuits, cake, ice cream, and I sort of feel like maybe it was a lot to do with comfort eating as well. Because of the insecurities, not feeling great about myself, and you just indulging shit to make yourself feel better. It's sort of that,
It's
like,
mad, isn't it?
that quick fix.
It's just like self-sabotage as well, though, because you don't feel good, so you eat, but then you eat and then you don't feel good. So it's like a circle.
Definitely.
That's what Dave always says. He's like, when you binge, because obviously he was one of the biggest comfy eaters, he said he always like lived in regret afterwards. But then he would eat to make, obviously, the dopamine. You get the release of dopamine, don't you feel good?
Yeah.
And then you don't feel good after it. You know, it's like, it's mad, really, when you think about it.
I think, like, probably the highest weight that I've been in my life is probably about 19 stone.
Wow.
And I'm probably 5 stone lighter than that now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And because I've got a big frame, I always carried it a little bit better than someone could maybe with a smaller frame. So I was still capable of doing things that other people might not have been at that size, but still just felt shit about myself all the time.
Yeah. I think with the comfy eating as well, I remember like when I first started coaching you wasn't particularly open about it. Yeah. But then when you started opening up about it, that's when you changed massively. And I think at the start when you joined, you was only in your head sort of staying for like, you know, maybe 12 weeks, like a few months. That was always what your sort of goal was. But then when you started opening up about that and then you started changing, that's when it really like...
It's when you admit defeat.
Yeah.
When you realise that the issues aren't just going to go away.
Well, it's holding that mirror up, innit?
Yeah.
It's the mirror principle. Yeah. You know, it's like a lot of people, when they're in denial, they blame other things. Oh, it's always been that way, or...
It's always someone else's fault or something else's fault.
Until you stop blaming, that's when you start growing. You know?
When I took acceptance for my wrongdoings and realised that I'm not going to get anywhere in life and become the person that I want to be, the person that my partner needs me to be, and the person that I should be for my kids, the role model that I should be.
Yeah. Was there like sort of a key turning point where you thought like enough was enough then? I know with Dave's, like he was coached by me for I think around 6 months.
Yeah.
And he was always lying, you know, his scale weight was going down and down and down and his pictures were looking worse and worse and worse. So I was like, come on Dave, from your mental health here, like I've never had anything like this before, what's actually going on? Because I thought,
questioning you as a coach.
Yeah, I thought, I don't know, like I trust him. You can't just say you're a liar to a client. You just have to trust the word, really. You know, even though sometimes you might know they're bullshitting, but you just have to go along with it. You know, because at the end of the day, it's like, it's up to them to make the decision to think, right, I need to admit now and move forward. But his point was when I said that, you know, and then ever since that day was open, and that's when it started to move forward. But what was your sort of turning point then?
Stopping the weed, most definitely. Like I say, it was something that I never felt was a problem until I realised it was a problem. It was sort of I sat down and sort of reflected that I was planning my whole life around it. Wow. If I was going out for food, am I taking enough joints to last me whilst I'm out? Booking holiday destinations where I can go and sit in a cafe and have my own time.
Wow. Yeah, it's mad when you think about that.
And there's sort of like a general ideology out there that it sort of aids you in a lot of ways. Sleep, stress, relaxation. And I feel like everything that I felt it was helping with stopped when it stopped.
Yeah.
But the biggest turning point, or the biggest realisation that I needed to stop, was I told my missus Cleo multiple times over the years, I'm going to stop.
Yeah.
And it was probably 3-4 months before I met you. I think, maybe a bit longer. Started with you in the June, wasn't it, last year? Yeah. And it was January, I've got it in my phone actually, January the 28th was the last time I smoked a joint. And I said to Cleo, I'm going to stop. And she went, yeah, I've heard that all before. And it was just like a punch in the face. I thought, does she really like feel that I'm that weak? Even though she probably didn't think it was that big of an issue for her, hearing that made it a big issue for me. And I just thought, am I that weak of a man?
Yeah.
And am I coming across that weak as a man, that something's got that great deal of a hold over me that even my missus thinks that I can't do it?
Well, you know what it is? It's like, it's when it's affecting your highest values. Your highest value wasn't the weed, it was a pleasure. Your highest value is looking after your family and being a good partner. So when your missus says that, it's like you're letting your values down, and that's why you're at home. So like when you are trying to move forward with anything in life, sometimes it's not about setting a fitness goal. It's about attaching a fitness goal to a highest value in your life. It might be I want to be looking after my body to earn more money in business because I want to be successful and have freedom for my family. So if you look at it through that lens, then you're going to put fitness first. If you look at, I'm going to look at the business, focus all on that, but my health's going to decline, so I'm going to be less focused and I'm going to, not earn as much money because I'm not going to be positive with people and I'm going to actually be a negative person, then, it has a different effect, doesn't it?
And with every aspect of my life, I'm not a do things by half sort of person. Yeah. If I do something, I'm sort of full on, and it was the same with that. I was smoking probably as much weed in a day as people were in a week. Wow. And got to
might as well call you Snoop Dogg.
And it got to the point where, to fund the habit, started like knocking bits out to like sort of like friends and family, and then that creates additional stress. And another sort of kick up the arse, that my son was getting to the age where I started smoking it, and if he's seeing me do it, he's going to think, well, if my dad does it, it's acceptable. So I just knew it was the point where things had to change, and I've kind of changed one negative addiction to multiple positive addictions. Feel like I've just, within the past 12 months, I've made more progress in my life than I have in my whole life so far.
That's powerful.
Definitely.
That's going to make the Instagram, that one.
and I feel like I've always kind of been my own worst enemy. I've never felt like a fit in, never felt good enough, not just for myself but for other people. And now, for the first time in my life, I feel like I can admit that I love myself, and I've got a great deal of respect for myself.
So you've got the same mindset as me now? If you was made out of chocolate, do you say?
Most definitely, mate. Most definitely. And since knocking the weed on the head, mate, it's just been a snowball effect of positivity. Mentally, physically, spiritually. Things are better at home, things are better at work. And I feel like the cloudiness that I once had in my mind has disappeared, and now I've just got a complete tunnel vision for everything that's creating positivity.
It's been good to see over the last 12 months, obviously, how you've changed as well. Because that person I met to the person now is like a completely different person in a good way, and not that you was a bad person at the start at all, but you've just gone on to achieve so many things. Your mindset's so different. Like, you was always quite shy, and now you're the first one to be like, yeah, right, come on, let's do this, or top off in a group in a picture. It's like, you just changed massively. So
I know it might sound like quite a drastic statement, but in a sense I feel like I've kind of been reborn, if that makes sense. Like, I've transitioned from one completely different human being to another completely different human being with different goals, different mindset, and sort of all aspects of my life are completely different.
It's who you're around as well, isn't it? But it's like, I always say about the weed, like, a lot of people don't think it's that bad because you don't really get hungover or anything. Like, it doesn't stop you from, it doesn't make you not healthy for a week or anything, like the beer, for example, or the cocaine or whatever. So, like, you feel like you can get away with it a lot. But I would always say the same thing about weed, it dims your ambition.
Well, what one thing I will say is, I've always felt deep down in my soul that I've meant for something more in life than what I've ever achieved up to now. And whilst I was smoking the weed, I was what I'd call a lazy, motivated person. I had all these ideas, all this energy in my mind, but just not the physical energy to carry anything out that I was thinking about doing. And now that's just completely flipped, turned upside down. And everything that I say I'm going to do, I do. Everything that I think I want to do, I am doing. And nothing can stop me.
So going back to like the struggle with eating and food and stuff like that, I know obviously you stop the weed and that's how you move forward, but is there any sort of key action steps what you would give to someone who is struggling with food, who's in the same situation? Or, well, to ask you two questions, the thing about the food, what does that then? And also, what advice would you give someone if they want to stop the weed and they're in that cycle?
Admit it's an issue. Same with any substance abuse. If you feel like it's not an issue and you're in denial, you're never going to get anywhere, whether it be cocaine, alcohol, food, cannabis, anything. If you feel like you can't admit it's a problem, you're never going to get anywhere. You'll just be stuck in the same cycle of shit for the rest of your life.
Yeah, true.
And it was, like I say, even if you can't admit it to yourself, let the input of the people around you who love you the most, who are telling you that it's an issue, listen to it and take it on board, because it changed my life doing so.
Yeah.
And I feel like, even though in terms of nutrition, stopping the weed didn't perfect it, it made it a lot better, and the cravings for things weren't as bad. I was still not eating anywhere near as I am doing now, but I just feel like it, from the moment I stopped, small improvements started happening. Started, like, rather than taking 2 steps forward and 10 steps back, I was taking 2 steps forward every week. And even if you're taking 1 step forward every week, as long as you're going forward and not going backwards, that's all that matters, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah, it's like with progression, it's not just straightforward, is it?
It's not linear, is it?
Nah, there's always bumps in the road.
Yeah.
You know, even if you on the weed or you was on the weed, it's like it's a steady game, innit? And you're going to get challenges, and you're going to get times when you feel like giving up, but then you just have to crack on and move forward.
I suppose those those negative times are where you build the strongest character.
Yeah.
If you face hurdles and you give up at every hurdle, you're never going to get anywhere. Whereas even now, I'm in the best, like I said, physical and mental state of my life. Face hurdles every week.
Yeah.
But I just choose to face them head on, overcome them, and carry on to the next.
Yeah.
No matter what hits me, I'm going to overcome it.
Yeah, 100%. I know obviously you've got your next challenge, you've got your bodybuilding comp and stuff, which, you know, you could touch on about the bodybuilding comp.
Yeah, which is crazy to think you're doing that, because imagine 12 months ago me saying to you, imagine even just saying do a photo shoot to you 12 months ago when we first started out, you'd have just told me
I would have laughed at myself, mate.
Yeah, but like obviously you did the one in December last year, absolutely smashed it, looked amazing, best you've ever looked.
Yeah.
Obviously coming back from more now, so we've got a photo shoot in
August 15th.
7 weeks, is it, I think, and then obviously 5 weeks after that we've got the bodybuilding comp, so you're doing first timers men's physique.
Yeah, man.
How are you feeling about it?
Excited, mate. Like you say, if I could have spoke to who I was a year and a half ago and told myself in a year and a half time you'll be doing all these things, I would have said fuck off, what you going on about. You know what I mean? There'd be no chance. Even like you say, getting from June to December where I got, if I would have told my old self you're going to look like this in 6 months time, it would have been like no chance. As everybody does, every boy dreams of having the dream physique, and abs is sort of the main thing that everybody dreams to having, and thought you sort of hear the stories that abs are genetic. You know what I mean? Like only certain people can have them. And it was something that I never thought I'd achieve, and once you see them start popping, it's like it just gives you such a sense of confidence, and not even for other people to see, so I don't care. I'm happy in life. I've got a wonderful missus. I don't want to achieve what I'm achieving for anybody else's purpose. It's for me. Do you know what I mean? And
you can't hide your standards anyway.
No.
So like the 6-pack, it's good. Like if you was really skinny on a 6-pack, you know, that's the reason why. But for someone who's built, for example, and they've got a 6-pack, it's just down to standards. You know, it's not down to genetics. You're walking about your standards every single day. You know, you can fake a lot of things in life, but you can never fake your standards with your actual living standards every day, like in terms of food and training and stuff like that, can you?
No, like I say, it's sort of just like doing that photo shoot, it truly made me realise what I'm capable of. Especially because what I'd achieved in 6 months, I thought really is something that would be achievable over a matter of years. You know what I mean? And I knuckled down with the guidance and structure that Sam gave me. Even though it was hard, on another sense it was also easy, because it's literally you just following what you're told to do. You know what I mean? And you're given structured guidelines of nutrition and exercise, and the only person you're letting down by deviating from it is yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're literally given the roadmap to get to the destination, and if you deviate from it, you're only making your journey longer.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously you've got going back to that, you've got the comp coming up next, and obviously you're going to be a coach, aren't you, as well?
Yeah.
So that's your next mission. So
Exclusive announcement.
Yeah, exclusive announcement. So you've done a full 360 on life, haven't you? So in terms of your mission with the coaching, you know, what sort of person are you wanting to coach, or have you not really decided yet?
Other versions of what I was.
Oh, yeah.
People who are stuck in shit cycles of life, feel like they're trapped, can't escape.
Yeah.
People who maybe are struggling with substance abuse, weight problems, insecurities, food problems. I just feel like what started off as a health and fitness journey for me, I want to sort of make others realise that you're capable of whatever you put your energy into. And no matter how hard the road is, no matter how far out of reach you feel it may be, if you knuckle down, zone in, and follow the guidelines, it's achievable.
It's mad, isn't it? Because, like I mentioned before, like, you join in for like an 8-week or a 12-week, I'll give it a go, see what happens. But then when you look at it through a lens of it's actually investment into my personal development for every single aspect of my life, it's a totally different scenario, isn't it, how you see it?
I couldn't imagine my life without it now.
Yeah.
Like, the financial aspect doesn't even come into play. You know what I mean? I don't, like, obviously I've got children, I've got bills as everybody else has, but what you could be spending money on doing other things. If you make the investment, you're gonna get the gains from coaching more than what you're gonna get from anything else in life. Do you know what I mean?
I'd never not have a coach. We were talking about this the other day. Like, I've got a lot of knowledge, got experience, but I would never not have one.
No,
I couldn't
even
imagine
the most elite have got coaches. Ronaldo is one of the not that I know a great deal about football, but he's one of the best footballers in the world. He's got a coach. All the best bodybuilders in the world had some sort of guidance from somebody. You know what I mean?
It's always a mentor. Like, my first mentor was my dad. You know, you don't need to always pay for a mentor. It's like people chuck the word mentor about now, like, oh, I'm not going to pay that guy to be my mentor, like in coaching. You've had mentors all around you, prick. You know, you've just not been paying them. Anyone who guides you in life, who gives you words of wisdom and, you know, good teachings to actually develop yourself is your mentor, whether you like it or not. And, like, that's why I always go on about my dad, because he was my first mentor in life. You know, he taught me how to ride the bike, he taught me how to be on time, he taught me how to go to the gym. So that's your first sign of having a mentor. He gave me all the Arnold Schwarzenegger Wikipedias. I've got every single one, you know, I've studied them all. And then obviously then you go into, you know, invest in yourself. But it's like with me, the biggest and best investment in my life was to a mentor, because that's when my life started. But to be honest, when I was probably about 4 years into training or something, or maybe about 4 or 5 years, obviously I got taught by my dad, so I was young and I felt like I knew it all. But obviously I knew very little, because things change, don't they? And, you know, you never stop learning in this game. And I remember, like, my thoughts on it, and probably like a lot of people viewing this, so I was thinking, I don't need a coach, because I wasn't doing shit. You know, I got the 6-pack on my own, and, you know, I went to the gym and I enjoyed it, and I did know what I was doing, probably more than most people, to be honest with you. But I basically wanted to get to that next level, and the coach who I went with first, I didn't want seeking or looking for a coach. He was just giving me advice and nice to me, but I was in the mindset where I thought my ego was big. I thought I knew it all. I don't need anyone to help me. And then I just thought, I'll just see what it's about. And then I would join him for a month. Didn't follow anything really what he was saying, because I was in that resistance mindset. He had resistance towards actually getting help, even though it paid him, which doesn't even make sense, but that's how the mind works. And then it was only till the full year afterwards I was doing another cut, think for a photo shoot or something like that, so I could cut down on my own and get in good condition. So my knowledge was there, but I'd done it was like the finishing touches before, like, say, a photo shoot or a bodybuilding comp. And sometimes you can be a bit unsure of yourself, even though you feel like, well, you know you're doing it right. You want a second opinion, basically. So I just asked the coach, and it was just nice. You know, he wasn't asking for money, or it was just giving me advice, and it worked what he said. So I thought, nah, I'm going to go all in with this now. And then I just joined him, followed every single thing what he said, and then I just seen rapid results, like faster than ever. I was tracking all my lifts, I was weighing all my food, which I never done in my life. And then I was just in the gym, and I was on a bulk cut this time. I never thought about doing a competition.
Yeah.
And then I was just in the gym, and then Nick come in the gym. You know, Nick from Manchester Supplements, like sound guy and all that. But he come in, and we always used to have the banter in the gym and that. And he said, "Oh, I'm competing," because him and his missus Adele was in the gym, and said, "I'm competing." I was like, "Oh, that's good. Why don't you do it?" I was like, "Nah, I'm not into it." You're only scared because you're going to come last. You know, it's just like friendly banter, but obviously he's saying it for about 2 weeks.
Yeah, man.
And I thought, fuck this. You know, the ego come out. I thought, I'm doing the comp. So I signed up to the comp, and then it was about 8 weeks out. And obviously I grew up with a pumping iron, watching Arnold Schwarzenegger do the mind games. So I was the master at the mind games. Like, I've always been good at winding people up, like, since school. Every time he come into the gym, because I used to work at the gym, I used to put 2 jumpers on so he couldn't ever see what I looked like. Then I would upload an old picture from my fat loss phase. Yeah. He didn't even have Instagram or anything. He was looking on his missus at me, but he dropped himself in. He went, "I've seen you on Instagram," but he's not even got it.
Yeah, man.
But he was going on his Instagram's missus to look at pictures of me.
Spying.
Yeah. So he was spying on me. So I was just playing the mind games, and then, like, I used to make the protein shakes at the gym. So there was like the mass gainer, you know, the diet one and all that. Obviously, he was getting a mass gainer one, and he thought he was getting a diet. So I was just doing mad shit like that to him, and it was funny. And obviously, I was militant, like, wasn't missing a beat, and I got shredded quite fast. And then I think I just got into his head. He said he had COVID 8 weeks out, which he might have done, but he could have still done the comp. Yeah. But him and his missus both didn't do the comp, do you know what I mean? And then everyone doubted me about doing the competition, because there's loads of pictures on Manchester Muscle on the wall, weren't they? Like, you know, Dave Finnegan, blah, all these people. And I remember some guy from the gym, Kenner, he was next to me, and he said something like, "I'll be good to take part though, won't it?" Like, I'm like 2 weeks out from the show. Basically saying you're not good enough. You know, you could be like them one day, but it's good to take part. It's something to do. And I just thought, fucking hell, shit this. And then obviously I'd done both my comps, smashed everyone in the comps, come into the gym with my gold medals round my neck, come into the gym with a round of applause, a standing ovation from every single person. And it's one of them, everyone, you know, they doubt you before you do it, don't they?
Even though the goal that you was trying to attain was to prove something to yourself, it's those doubters that give you that extra kick up the arse and the driving force to prove what you are capable of. Say, like I said, with stopping the weed, my missus doubted me, and she's the person that I love more than anything in the world. Yeah. And if she doubts me, then there's definitely something wrong.
I do better off doubt me. It fuels my fire well more than like someone saying you can do everything, blowing smoke up your ass. I'm like, that don't work for me.
Anything for me, that, to be honest.
No.
You think with most people, it actually puts them off on it, because it's more like, oh yeah, I am the shit. Yeah, I don't need to do that. Whereas someone tells you you're not good enough, you're instantly looking to like prove them wrong, aren't you?
Yeah, defo. Yeah, that's it. But it was a good time anyway. It was a good time there. And then, well, the same thing happened when I left school, and then I was going into, well, I always wanted to be a PT. And my mum said, "I don't do a PT. Shit, there's no money in it." And thought, because obviously I wasn't clued up with like mindset stuff and you know, people's behaviours and why they say things then. Obviously I am now, and I know why she said it. It was obviously to protect me, because she didn't know a PT. She's never been gym in her life. Do you know what I mean? She doesn't even eat healthy or anything. My dad's the one who's into the gym, and that's why I am. But she said that because her idea of a good job was, well, her idea of jobs altogether was, it's hard to get a job, it's hard to make money. That was a belief from obviously my nana and all that, and you'll probably have the same.
What you taught from being in school. Yeah. Go to school, go to high school, go to college, get a job, and do a 9 to 5 till you retire.
That's it. And it's like you taught nothing in there. You know, you're in the rat race, as they say. But it's like, fair enough to anyone who wants to work a normal job. That's up to them. But I couldn't think of anything worse. You know. But with that, it's like I say, my mum's limiting beliefs. She was just thought it was hard to get a job, thought it was hard to make money, and she thought a good job was like, you know, which is a good job to be fair, like doctors, you know, lawyers, but they would be very hard to get. Like you have to be really smart to get them and get all A stars, which I got one GCSE, so obviously that was out of the picture. But like a good job would be like what I had. I was building ambulances. It was absolutely shite job. It was the nightmare. You know, for me to think someone needs to go a certain place at 7 a.m. on a construction line and not be able to talk for the full day, going into the toilet and there's shit all over the walls and like it's really scruffy habits and just negatives every single day, like just stress all over. For someone to go through that, that's actually prison, but you're not in prison. That's how I would describe my first job. It was like I was in selling. To be honest, that's why things don't really affect me that much anymore, because, you know, when you face challenges and stuff, because I think obviously I've always probably had a strong mindset, to be fair, but I think because I've done all them things, you build like a resilience, because I've been getting up at 5 a.m. and, you know, working the 12-hour days when I've been 16 and just all sorts, you know, people putting you down, and when you're 16 years old and you're like the blue hat, which is the apprentice, and you don't know anything, and you know, they think they can get away with saying two things until you say something back, and then they're like squaring up to you.
Yeah, it's like the pecking order in school all over.
Yeah. It was exactly the same. It's like you're back in year 7 again with the year 11s.
Yeah, man.
That's how life is. You know, it's mad. Well, obviously, if you're around wankers, but when you meet obviously real people, it's nothing like that, is it?
No, definitely.
Because they all help you, but that's because of the environment. Like the boss is there. They was constantly having goals at you, but that's because their boss was having goals at them. But if you're now reminded, which I was back then, you think he's got something against me, but he's not. He's just been grilled. You know, he's been grilled, and when you seen him out of work, he was a nice bloke, friendly. Because I used to get a lift, because obviously I didn't drive then. So there was I've not even told you this story. It was a good story though. But basically, when I used to work at Cartwright, so I used to get the bus, but then I ended up getting a lift off a guy called Wayne. So when he used to get in the car, he used to be smoking his cigars, stinking and all that. He was negative. He wouldn't say one word. And I thought, wow, this is intense. First getting in his car, because I didn't really know him that much, and thought, you know, I can't be asked with this atmosphere in the morning, because I'm a morning person, mate. You know, whether he hated the job or not, I've always been happy in the morning. I start to like dim down towards the back end of the day, to be honest, because it's wind down time. But he was really negative in the morning, and then I took that offence again, obviously, because I didn't know why people's behaviours. I took it personal. Thought the prick don't even say hey in the morning, like getting a lift and all that negative atmosphere. Like, what's all this about? But it's because he hated work that much. Like, he knew what he was going in for. Like, he was going in to get his blood pressure raised every single day, and the grilling, and his job threatened and everything. So he's going in with a load of stress. I'm going in chill, because I couldn't give a shit about the job. I couldn't care less if I got sacked tomorrow. So I'm just chilled, like 16. And then when he gave me the lift back home, he had the tunes on, he was singing, he was dancing. It's like he'd been let out of prison. But I was negative to him. Then I thought, you've not been speaking to me, I'm not going to speak to you now, you prick. I don't even want to speak to you. Like, I don't even want to get a lift off you anymore, but obviously I'm using you because I want the lift, you know what I mean? That's pretty much what it was. I thought, I'm going to pay you 30 quid and use you, because I can't be asked getting the bus, which is going to take me 2 hours, and I can get home in 30 minutes. And that's exactly my mindset what I had at the time. But yeah, it's mad how your state can change by what you're thinking. You know?
Definitely. Like my job, I work in construction myself. I have done since leaving school. And I enjoy the job. I enjoy the fulfillment of making people happy, doing work on their houses, correcting mistakes that other people have made. But I just know deep down in my heart, mate, that I'm meant for more than breaking my back on a site every day. Now I've got a vision, and the vision's coming to life, and I'm going to instill and implement in people's lives exactly what yous have done to me. It's a gift, innit? It's all about giving back, you know, and you don't really know your purpose until you know it. You can go through it, because I know you've been through a good few different things in your life where you think it's what you're meant to do at the time. Like, I've been through loads of things in my life where I know it's not like the end, but I thought, what's the message here? What I'm learning? Like when I went to Ibiza and doing seasons, and I thought, how long am I going to be doing this for? I'm enjoying it. You know, being with all the girls and all that sort of stuff, and getting off your box and drinking and blah, 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 and meeting all these nice people. I enjoyed all that. But then I thought, I always had it in the back of my mind, like, this isn't hell for this. You know, I can't wait to get back training. It's not my... I always thought, like, to summarise it, is that's not my identity. It's just like a stage. So I thought I couldn't do this. Like, if I pictured my life, like, because there was some people over there who done 20 seasons. They started when they was 18. They're now the managers of bars.
which obviously they get paid a decent amount and stuff, and they're more settled when you get older there.
Yeah.
But I think like I couldn't ever picture my thing here, and I remember the first season what I ever done, and obviously I was drinking every single day, and when I come back, my dad thought I was going to be an alcoholic because I was drinking every day, and he was against me going over there. He didn't want me to go and all that. And then obviously when I ran out of money pretty early on in the season, he was like pretty much, come on then, do you know what I mean? But I thought, I'm proving a point. I want to be like
your own man.
You're my own man, yeah. I want to prove that I'm my own man, even though some days I had €2 to my name and I couldn't afford to eat. Do you know what I mean? There was stages like that, to be fair. You know, and like even, obviously I got the shower and all that, but even wearing the same clothes, because you didn't even have like stuff to, you had to wash your clothes in the sink and that.
Yeah, man.
That's what I was actually doing, do you know what I mean? I've never actually
times call for desperate.
Yeah, I've never actually said that live, but that's the things what me and Joey was doing, was living like tramps.
Yeah.
But that's because we didn't have any money to do it. Man. So it was, obviously, it's all character building, to be fair, even though it's rough times. It didn't put the girls off me, though, so that was a good thing. I felt like the worse I got, the nicer girls I got towards the end of the season, even with a dad body. But no, it's just a joke. Like, but when I got back after the season, my dad thought I was going to be an alcoholic because I was drinking every single day. And I didn't even drink a single drop, and I'd done the transformation within the 3 months, and I thought, I feel good now.
Yeah, man.
But then the second season, I went over, first time in my full life, I went over bulked for a holiday. It's the worst thing I could have ever done. I landed over there thinking it was a dog's bollocks. No girls fancied me. You know, they was all after Joey because he had the tan and done everything what I usually do. I don't know why I even went through this stage. But obviously I didn't go on the sunbeds. I thought, I'm not going to go on the sunbeds. I'm going to go over bulk, get a bit more size, even though I look shit. I just done everything complete opposite. Usually it's like sunbeds, haircut fresh, like looking lean and all that. Yeah. And I've got there and I thought, fucking hell, no one's after me here. What's going on? I still always got a couple, like, but like I thought, wow, what's going on here? This is different than the first season. And then Joey's getting all the birds, and I was like, oh, jealous bastard. But so then obviously I cut down actually while I was over there. Yeah. But my thinking was, because I lost pretty much everything on my first summer, even though I wanted to do my second one healthier, I thought, if I go over with a bit more size, I won't lose as much.
Yeah, back in a good state.
Yeah,
back in the best shape.
Yeah, I thought, I'm not going to lose that much, and I'm actually going to get leaner as I get into the season. But I actually did. I actually did get leaner.
That's funny.
Even though I lost some size still, but I did do it a lot healthier because I was working at Skinny Kitchen, and that was like the healthy eating place. And I used to just go in early. I remember the first day actually, so I got sacked from Skinny Kitchen on my first ever day. So basically, I knew what I was doing because I was all or nothing with the beer. So, say if I was landing RB from Thursday, I think my first working day was Saturday.
Right.
So, I wanted to start work instantly because I thought, I'm going to go on a bender here. I've just landed RB for like, you know, saved up some money, not loads, but I saved up some money. I'm fully single, you know, I'm going to obviously have a good time. Yeah. Back at the land where I love. So, I said to the manager of the place called Katie, I said, can I start work? She went, no, you're starting Saturday. I thought, all right, there we go then. So it's going to be sorry he said that. Went on a full bender, didn't sleep all the way through. On the Friday night, I remember being in Lineker's, which I always used to go. Yeah. I was there at 5 a.m. chatting to someone, and I was like, I've got work in 2 hours because it was early one, 7 a.m. Yeah. And I ran home, and then I got sleep for like an hour or something. Woke up the next day like you would make if you was a slob making excuse. Yeah, I feel sick today. Do you know the old one? I thought that's the only one.
Dog get my own work.
Yeah. And Kate just turned around and said, "You sacked," and I didn't even know her or anything. Yeah, and I thought, wow, realization. Yeah. Ran down to Skinny Kitchen and then just worked my first day rough as shit. And just powered through. And I think it was like, she was proud of me because it was like I proved a point.
Yeah, man.
She knew what I was up to. You're an IB for, but I proved that I wasn't going to let her down. So that was a good thing. Went on a bit of a tantrum there. I didn't know what was the first question. Yeah, it was good. Good times. Yeah, it was.
I've got a good question for you. So if you had to give your former self when you were, say, at your lowest, had the bad habits, etc., what piece of advice would you now give to that person?
That's a tough one. Not be so hard on yourself. That is probably a good piece of advice, because I think everybody is very, very self-critical of themselves. Probably a little bit too much. And even though when you might feel like you deserve it, I suppose, it's a hard one.
It's one of them. It's kind of, I know what you're saying, because it's kind of what I said on the walk this morning. Like, be grateful for the present moment. Everyone's always trying to look at the flaws or where they want to get to or the next best thing. But it's about really realising how far you've come now, because the life what you're living now was once a dream.
Yeah.
It was once just a thought, and now you're living it every single day. Sometimes you can take advantage and think, "Oh, wish I had that." Wish I had this.
I suppose what I was trying to say is, like, even though you might feel that your life's not great, there's people out there who would wish to be in the position that you're in, even though you feel it's shit.
Yeah.
And like, comparison is the thief of joy. You're comparing the position that you're in to people who are far in front of you, where there's people out there who could only dream to be in the position that you're in.
Yeah. It's like, even when we went contrast today, like, the times when I feel the most grateful really is when I'm walking in nature with Nyla.
Yeah.
Just having a coffee, which is
simple things,
very simple, Or when I'm at contrast, when I've finished the ice, I'm getting a warm shower.
Yeah.
And it's only if it's a cold time, obviously, when it's boiling like it is now, then you don't really want a warm shower, do you? But when you get in the warm shower, you think, wow, someone in the world can't even get a warm shower today.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So that times like that, it's like, as I'm saying I'm older, but I'm 29 now. But it's times like now when you get more realisation.
Yeah, you realise what's truly important in life, don't you? And a lot of the time, it is the small things, the things money can't actually buy. One of my times a day where I feel like I'm at my happiest is getting home to Cleo and the kids.
Yeah.
And some people, like the client that you mentioned who lost his wife. People out there who've lost their children.
Yeah.
Something that they could only dream of is walking through the door to smiles of people that love you, mate. You know what I mean? And that for me is probably the highlight of my day. Even though sometimes I'm getting into screaming kids running about, mate. It's home, and home is where the heart is at the end of the day. Mate, do you know what I mean? And for me, that's the highlight of my day, and it's something sometimes that can be underappreciated.
Because it's there every day.
It's the norm, so
you just get used to it, don't you? And then, but sometimes when you've had maybe a day that's a lot worse than others, it's those days that you sort of don't take it for granted, and you realise how important it is just walking through that door, and people happy of your arrival.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Or even like you get a text in the morning off someone, like your dad or mum or whatever.
My dad's my biggest fan, mate. He's lived a life. You could write a movie about my dad, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, back in the day, he looked like a movie star.
Yeah.
Travelled all over the world. My dad's cousin was a boxer, so we travelled over to Australia with him while he was having some fights over there.
Yeah.
And my dad stayed in Australia and lived under a visa under a false name.
Really?
Created a false identity to live in Australia. Travelled all over the world.
Wow.
He told me a story once that he went to Paris to meet a woman.
Yeah. It's always Paris, isn't it?
I know. And
Dirty
he's spent the weekend with this woman, and then he's gone back to the train station to get the train to the airport to come home, and met another woman in the train station, and then went and stayed with her. And it's just some of the stories that
could be worse. Could be meeting a bloke.
I know. Some of the stories that not only has he told me, but like friends and family have told me. You could literally you could write a book about his life. Some good, some bad. He got diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, my old fellow, in his mid-20s, and has had it pretty tough. Like, through my childhood, spent a lot of time in psychiatric wards, having to go and visit him there. But
what's that stem by?
I've heard multiple different things. My dad believes it's something that sort of he'd always had, but could potentially have been treated.
Do you think it's true, all that stuff?
What?
Like schizophrenia and that?
Yeah, definitely.
Bipolar?
Yeah, definitely, mate. Like, he struggled. Well, not, I wouldn't say he's actually struggled, he's suffered. And I think suffering struggles quite different, because even though he's been through things in life that defeat most men, he's always remained positive, always bulletproof, and always sort of made statements of that, even though he's in the situation that he's in and been through the things that he's been through. There's people out there in worse situations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like now, he's not very mobile anymore. Do you know what I mean? He spends pretty much all his life in his flat, but he's happy.
Yeah.
He's happy that he's got his kids who are doing well, grandkids.
Yeah.
And again, he's got more than a lot of people have, even though he's got the reasons to sort of moan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He never does. I've never heard him moan. Yeah, he's hard as nails, mate. My nana told me a story once that him and my Uncle Sean would play fighting at home as brothers do, as you probably did with yours, as I did with mine. And my dad fell down the stairs and snapped his arm. Yeah. And didn't tell my nana because he wanted to go and play out.
Yeah.
And he was probably a young teenager, maybe early 11, 12 years old, and battled through having a snapped arm for like 3 days before he told my nana because it was hurting him too much. Do you know what I mean? He's just never one to complain, no matter what hardship he's faced in life. And sometimes I feel like people sort of need to take that approach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No matter how shit you might think of the situation that you're in, there's people out there that are far, far worse off.
Do you think you took a lot from that? Because I'd say you're very mentally tough, to be honest.
Yeah.
Do you think you took a lot from that?
More so than anything in recent years, because I feel like I've grown up a lot in the past few years. Sort of, I think a lot of people go through parts of their life where they feel like the world's against them. You know what I mean?
Do you think? I think like I was thinking about this when we was chatting today. But like when you make all your mistakes and you learn and stuff like that, do you think it's just because you're new to life? And then obviously you've got the experience as you get into your 30s and stuff. So you've been exposed to everything. You know, you've either dealt with things in a good way or not. So then obviously you've got the experience to move forward. That's why you don't keep making the same mistakes.
Yeah,
but at first it's new. Like when you first get into a nightclub, you know what I mean? You're all over the show, aren't you? But then after a bit, it's like the norm.
Yeah.
I think that's a bit like life, really. Yeah. It's just because it's new. Some people tackle it's like being exposed to money, for example. When I first started making decent money, I was going to Dubai and, you know, renting sports cars and just splashing everything and come back home with not a pot to piss in. Obviously, I wouldn't do that now. Like Dino was on about getting a car, renting a car in Marbella, and I was thinking in my mind, that's a waste of money, that. Yeah. But like a couple of years ago, I'd be like, let's do that. Do you know what I mean?
One each.
Yeah, that's it. But I said, I'll probably still get one anyway for the videos. Because it adds to the experience, doesn't it? It's funny.
Yeah, definitely. Like if it's something that you've never experienced before, at least do it once.
Well, yeah, that's it. Obviously, it's good for him as well, isn't it?
Yeah, once you've done it, just kind of not make a habit of doing it.
Yeah, I think it's just attached to my whole reason when obviously I said that it's a waste of money there about the car. If I was doing it on my own, then yeah, but it's because my sole purpose is giving back. Yeah. I don't think about me. I think about, it's be a good experience for him. That like he'll be buzzing when the cars pull up and his brother's in the car and he's in the car. So it's giving back in it. So that's why you do it anyway.
Like the famous, I don't know it word for word, but the statement that Conor McGregor made early on in his career, that he'll feel like he's truly successful when he's made enough money for his kids and his kids to live a comfortable life. He don't matter. He's not asked about what he can buy and what he's got, even though obviously he has.
He won't be saying that now, will he? 'Cause he's got too much money.
Some pretty flashy things, but obviously this was quite early on in his career.
Yeah.
Talking about Vincent van Gogh, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's it.
Lost his mind in the art.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, that's what he gets out of it. He's not asked about anything else. It's just about being able to give back. That's what his whole thing
even
was.
if he goes mad in the process.
As long as he can.
Why is that what happened to Van Gogh?
Yeah.
Lost his mind.
Yeah, because he cut his own hair off, didn't he?
Yeah.
Mad that.
Yeah.
Remember learning a bit about him.
Yeah. He was a bit of a dab hand at art in school.
Yeah, that was good at. Yeah, I was good at the art in school. I was the best drawer.
Oh, shite me.
Was you?
Yeah.
I was always been dead creative, me.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like writing. I've got like a shoebox at mine, I should have brought it on here actually, that would have been funny, but I've got a big shoebox and it's got loads of stories in what I used to write.
No way.
Yeah, like I used to grow up with like the superheroes and that. I always fantasized on things what wasn't real.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, as I was getting to like 16, 17, I thought, this imagination's not going anywhere. Like I thought, I always got told you grow out this, like you like playing with the figures when you're younger and all that sort of stuff. It's a load of shite.
Yeah, like the childlike
Yeah,
imagination.
you never grow up.
Nah, definitely not, mate.
You only you only grow up, as they say, if you just crash down by life and you don't believe in yourself.
Want to grow up?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't want to grow up. I like the
there's certain aspects of your life that you should definitely mature in. Do you know what I mean? But it's like Peter Pan. You know what I mean? You want to be a kid forever, don't you? When you're a kid, you wish you're an adult. When you're an adult, you wish to be a kid again.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are they don't want to be kids again, do they? You know, if they just think that's how it is.
Yeah.
You know, they got the missus who moans, or, you know, the boyfriend who moans, no money, you know, just a normal job. They just think that's normal.
You get out of life what you put into
it.
Yeah,
they just think that's normal.
I've learned to know very, very much in the past few years. You get out of life what you put into it.
100%.
Can make anything out of it. It's mad. I know you said you've got some
questions for us.
I have actually.
Put us on the spot.
I'll ask a question and then I'll get an answer from both of you off the same question.
Sam can go first.
Yeah, I'll go first.
What's one belief about fitness or mindset you've completely changed your mind about over the years?
More is better. So for me, I used to train, obviously you know this, 7 days a week, twice a day, because it was, you know, for me I was looking at the hybrid athlete sort of standpoint more than anything. It was run in the morning, row, swim, something like that, train weights in the evening. And my idea was I'm doing more than everyone, so I'm already better than everyone.
Yeah.
But really I was a million miles behind everyone. So more is definitely not better. Say 14 sessions I was probably getting a week. Probably more, because some days I'd do 3 sessions. I'd do a run, then I'd go and do a barbell circuit, then I'd go back at night and train. It's like, you know, maybe 14 to 20 sessions a week. Now I do 4.
Yeah.
I know the best I've ever been.
Yeah.
It's mad.
More is not better. Quality is better.
Oh yeah,
And
quality over
of your
quantity.
training
Yeah, man.
and your recovery. If you're training that much, you're not going to recover. So that's definitely the one for me.
Yeah, I think a lot of people train more when they're running from something. I know you wasn't, or you just had that mindset what you just said there, but when you've sort of got the mental health and stuff, and you battled some trauma, you'll train more because it's an escape.
Yeah, man.
So what was the question? The biggest thing
What's one belief about fitness or mindset you've completely changed your mind about over the years?
Last year, really, I would say, it's understanding how to get out of negatives in terms of your mindset. Like, I thought there was highs and lows in life, which there is, but you can make a low last as long as possible.
Yeah.
It's really about removing resistance towards where you want to get to. So that whether that's, you know, business, I always speak a lot about business now these days, don't I? But, you know, to achieve like a record month, for example, you need to remove the resistance to actually get there.
Yeah, man.
If you have these limiting beliefs like I can't do it, you know, am I going to get this person signed up today, all that sort of stuff, or, you know, comparing yourself to others, any negative emotions or feelings, then you won't get to where you want to be. So I think the biggest thing what I learned last year was really, it wasn't like a sales tactic or try this and this is going to work or this, you know, this secret.
Yeah.
It's really understanding your mind, how to tackle hurdles, and that's what obviously How to Think and Grow Rich taught me.
Next one. If someone could only follow one habit from your coaching, what would it be?
That's a class one.
So what would you say basically is the sort of be all and end all of habits that you sort of try and implement into your
the mindset.
Yeah, man.
The mindset, not the food, not the training. I don't know actually. Probably, it is an hard one, that, because you can go on, like, everyone will watch this and think, oh, mindset, I'm just gonna watch a positive video. No, it's deep mindset training, what we do on the team, like real deep, you know, specialize in that. But it's like, really, it is your mindset, because when you're in a good mindset and you know how to tackle it and you understand why you feel certain ways, then you're more likely to do different things. But it's an hard one. On the flip side, though, it's hard because I think you always have to make some change. First, you need to make a decision, where you want to get to, but you need to make some change in terms of what you're consuming. So, yeah, you can consume different things like not watching the news, but if you're still eating junk food every single day, you can, because I know people who smash the gym, they're into training, they love weights, but they eat shit every single day and they watch the news.
Yeah, man.
Are they really content in life? No, they just go gym, they always look the same forever.
Man.
So I feel like you do need to do the habits, like probably food, to be honest.
Yeah.
Food, because it makes you feel good.
Food your medicine, isn't it, as Nyla says.
Yeah, because I've been through times in my life where it's like normal to eat, like, not fast food, because I didn't grow up with that, but say like when you're a teenager and you're having the Chicago town pizzas and pot noodles and stuff like that. But at one point in my life, that tastes nice to me and I didn't feel like it was unhealthy. And that was a regular part of my staple diet, along with obviously good things. But now, when I eat anything like that, it's like I'm poisoning myself.
Yeah, man.
Definitely.
Like if I have a McDonald's, it's like I'm having a drug here.
Yeah.
Even though, it's
the same for me when I first started with Sam and I was going through the fat loss phase to the shoot.
Yeah.
All I could think about was having a Chinese.
Yeah.
Because I'd not had one for so long, mate. And that was like mine and Cleo's thing, get a Chinese every Friday. And that was the first sort of off-plan meal that I had after the shoot, apart from when we went out.
Yeah.
And I felt hungover the next day.
Yeah. If you are a person who thinks eating healthy is like a chore or, sickly or anything like that, or it doesn't taste nice. If you think eating healthy doesn't taste nice, you're one unhealthy bastard.
Yeah,
that's all I can say.
Man.
And I've been there, so I can relate. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think one of the biggest misconceptions always about sort of eating healthy, if that's what it's just normal eating really, is that you've just got to eat like plain shit, like boiled chicken and rice and boiled broccoli. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
You're
just
the chef in the group, aren't you?
yeah, it's just don't work.
Make it taste well.
I enjoy food more now, eating properly, than I ever have in my life.
Yeah.
Even though I've had the same 4 meals every day for the past 12 months. Like,
I think cooking's relaxing, mate.
I love it, mate.
I can get into meditative state, me, when I cook.
Yeah, I do.
Until the Marvin Gaye comes on and you start going.
Singing into your spoon.
Yeah.
Especially because that you sort of, like me, as you see, when I prep my meals for work, I do like 30 at a time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know that them little dishes of food are fuel.
Goodness,
you know what I mean? And I know that everything that I'm putting into those dishes is going to benefit me in some form or another. Do you know what I mean?
You scan the meal and you don't see like protein anymore. You see like amino acids and the chains.
Triglycerides and all the good stuff. I think if it was one habit based off that, it's like you say, there isn't really one. But what I would say, just for the feel good, I'd say the morning walk. Because the food obviously is massively important, so is training, but guaranteed I never got out and gone on a morning walk and come back and felt like shit.
Yeah.
It sets your day up, you feel good, you think of good ideas, gets your brain going, gets your body going. If you was just saying one habit out of all of them.
With that one though, say if you was a person who ate shit, who done everything wrong, would you really? You probably still feel good off the morning walk, wouldn't
That's the only reason I'd probably say that.
But you wouldn't even probably go on a morning walk.
But
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so really
it's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard that. I think first thing what you need to, the most important steps, decision, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
Because then that's going to have a knock-on effect to everything.
And I know it's quite a complex question that could have multiple answers, but that's why I wanted to ask it.
Yeah.
So I've got a few more.
Buzzing. Like these questions. Aren't it?
I know.
Harden in the artery.
What separates people who transform their lives from people who stay stuck?
Just said it there, decision.
Yeah, decision's the main thing, It's one of them. Your reason why, like obviously you've got the driving force with your missus, your kids and stuff like that. It was your missus what really give you the reason why to stop the weed.
And she don't even realise it either.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But you could have easily, because it wasn't like making you a negative person, it wasn't, making you reckless or anything, or a cheat or anything like that. You was just,
stuck in a rut.
You was just stuck in a rut. You was a dimmed down version of who you are now, like you say, you're newborn. But it wasn't really that negative, where you think, fucking hell, I need to get help here. Like me, when I was on the alcohol and I was going on 2-day benders, no communication with Nyla and stuff like that. So then that's a big worry. Do you know what I mean? That's not good because you're supposed to be motivating clients, you're supposed to be on the group chats, you're supposed to be doing this. There were some times when I was like, didn't sleep all the way through a night. I'd be posting my steps in the morning, I didn't even go to sleep.
Yeah, man.
You know, I was acting like I've just woke up and I'm getting my steps in. I wasn't.
On the dance floor.
It was the steps from the night before.
Yeah,
I was walking home and I'm thinking, I'm posting as if I'm actually walking. You know, I've got up fresh in the morning, I'm going on my morning walk and posting the group chat. I wasn't. I was on a bender from the night before.
Yeah, man.
I've done that before, which obviously is what it is. But
it's admirable that you can admit these things, mate, and I bet it feels good for you.
It's the only reason why I can admit everything now is because I'm well past it.
Yeah, man.
You know, I'm well past it. So it's like, I knew obviously it was coming, just needed that right moment, but you needed that big turning point as well.
Yeah.
You know, the big turning point, it's one of them, it changes, you done it, and then, you know, you have realisation.
What was the question again? What separates those from...
Yeah, what separates people who transform their lives from people who stay stuck?
I think a massive one for me is your circle. Obviously, we speak about this all the time, but you could be a person with the most potential in the world, the biggest desire, everything going your way. But if you're around people that bring you down, you're going to struggle. And you can be the opposite. You can be maybe not the most gifted, not the most talented, but if you're around good people...
Relates very strongly to a quote that I heard not long ago that resonates with me a lot, and it's you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Yeah,
I think it's the power's always in you though, isn't it? Like you can be around the motivated people, but if you're a dead leg, you're never going to be motivated really.
Yeah.
You know, and you can be like, you're not just going to be around people who are driven if you're like got nothing. You've got nothing to bring.
I
feel like you're attracted to the people when you're at that stage of your life. You know, it's like you evolve, don't you?
Yeah.
So it's like you wouldn't, if you as the weed smoker going around, so you wouldn't be here today, would you?
No, definitely.
We wouldn't even want you on the podcast.
No,
you know, if I was sounding rude,
no, not at all.
It's about achievements, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know, and the energy what you give now, it's amazing. Do you know what I mean? So a pleasure to have you.
Why do some people sabotage themselves when they start succeeding?
Don't think they're good enough. I would say don't think they're good enough, and it's a limiting belief that they've got to a certain stage. Like I used to do this, to be honest. So I used to get to a certain stage with fat loss or my physique, and then it got to say Christmas, and cause my dad brought me up from when he was training and me and everything, he basically told me 2 things. He said, you never train when you're away, basically. That's for chilling and drinking and having a good time. You've had a good training session all year. You need to relax. And you never drink when you're going into Christmas because you're going to be drinking anyway over Christmas, so you might as well stop at the start of the month.
Yeah.
So there's 2 things what he taught me, which obviously, at the end of the day, when you're 16, you're a yes man. You're like, he's God, everything what he says is right. And then until you get your own mind a bit, because you pick things, don't you? But then obviously I remember going into... December, and when I first started seeing Nyla, it was probably about a year or 2 in with her. Might have been a year in actually, and she turned around and said like, why do you always do this? Oh, it was January, it was the start of the year, and I looked like shit. I looked like I didn't even train.
Yeah, man.
She said, why do you always do this? So it must have been 2 years in. Why do you always do this? I was like, what do you mean? He went, well, you get out of shape, you do a transformation, why don't you just stay in shape and get better than you've ever done?
Yeah, man.
And I thought, that actually makes a lot of sense. Like,
definitely.
It's until something clicks and you think, why have we actually been doing this?
Man.
And then the same with the holiday. She says, you know, you're training all the way up to the holiday. You stop in 2 weeks before the holiday. You're eating anything, and then you're going away feeling like shit. Like, why don't you just train up to the holiday and train when you're away?
Yeah, man.
And then it did take quite a few years to train when I was away. I thought, I'm not training when I'm away. I'm just chilling because obviously I was in the beer. But obviously now I do train when I'm away.
Yeah.
I do like get places where you can stick to the food and stuff because. The one thing I've learned about myself, because life's all about learning, is routine for me keeps my baseline normal. Like I feel like my least stress. Like my happiest time of my life is when I've got the best routine, whether it's in Dubai, in Australia, in wherever.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the bridge for me. It's not about like where I go if I go to the most exotic restaurant in the world, because I've been a lot of good restaurants. It's not about that. It's about me being attached to my actual purpose and guidelines.
Makes you content.
Yeah, like I love obviously the good times and the restaurants and all that sort of stuff as like a treat.
Yeah.
But nothing beats my routine.
Yeah, man.
You know, so.
I agree. I was the same after the shoot last year. I think it was a week later. I went on holiday, and I thought because I'm in shape, I can just eat what I want now.
Yeah.
And I put on a stone in 2 weeks, mate, and I come back and I felt like a parcel.
I always used to do that all the time, though. And then it's like, you've got the 6-pack going into the holiday. It's the second day, you've not got the 6-pack anymore. You're like,
literally.
Wow, what's going on here? But it's because you're living like a slob, that's why.
Man.
Yeah.
But yeah, to answer your question, because I went around the houses there, but with the stories, but I think the main reason is just down to your limiting beliefs and what you believe in. You think the way what you're doing is true, and because you've been doing that for a long period of time, or it might have been your upbringing. Say if, I don't know, you had fat parents and they brought you up with shit habits like, you know, cereal for breakfast, which we've all had the cereal for breakfast. But say if they brought you up with that, you know, get this low fat thing because it's better for you, blah, 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 whatever your belief is, you know, it's going to be hard to uninstall that program in your mind because it's been programmed for the first 20 years of your life. So it's just about realization sometimes. So I think the self-sabotage is down to them actually going out the comfort zone. Then you think, I need to self-sabotage with, you know, beer, food, alcohol, whatever it is, because I need to get returning back to my normal state because I'm out of the comfort zone here.
Yeah.
That's the reason why.
Yeah, man.
So it's about making a new belief.
Yeah.
And then...
I think as well, like, this is from my experience, like a fear of failure almost. So when I started coaching, I'd already made loads of excuses of why it failed.
Yeah.
So that when it did fail, I already had an excuse.
Yeah.
But the excuse wasn't my fault.
Yeah,
it was because he started before me, so obviously he's been out there longer.
Yeah.
He's got that person already. I can't do that area because he's got... So I'd already created so many excuses, knowing that it was going to fail.
Yeah.
So I was set up and it wasn't my fault. So it's the fear of failure or the judgment of people going, well, he set that up and he's done shit.
Yeah, man.
So I already had 15 excuses. Anyone had said to me, I already had an excuse straight to say to him, but just a weak mindset, that.
It's true that. It's like even when I was growing up, when my mum wanted to have parties for my birthdays and stuff, and because I was scared that no one was going to turn up, I used to say, I don't want a party anyway, I'd fucking love a party. Do you know what I mean? That's why obviously I do the live events now. Obviously I love people gathering together. But even when I first started doing the live events, you think, is anyone going to turn up and all this sort of stuff? But it's the fear of failure. It's overtook your mind.
Yeah.
You know? Definitely. There's going to be one person that shows up at least.
Even
if it's you dressed in a beer.
Got a few more if that's all right.
Yeah,
go for it.
They'll be here soon anyway. Got a couple more minutes.
I've got quite a few, so I'll narrow it down to what I feel is the most important ones.
All right.
If you had to survive only using 5 food items, what would you pick?
Chicken, steak,
I don't mind. Chicken,
Go on,
eggs, oats, rice, and beef.
Yeah, man.
So I was
Pretty covers everything.
chicken, steak. It's hard. Sourdough, eggs, and then oats.
Yeah, it's pretty similar.
Yeah,
Probably them, yeah.
Covers basically
You can have
the
them
same
every
meals,
day.
Yeah.
You can have obviously the chicken on the sourdough. You can have the eggs on the sourdough. You can have the
steak on
You
the
can tell
side.
I'm missing sourdough anyway. Must be on a diet.
This one is probably the one that I've been looking forward to asking you the most. What does success mean to you now compared to 10 years ago?
Wow, that's a good one. I know exactly for me. I always thought success was about flash cars, loads of money, good watches, but just being happy. I just do what I want to do every single day with people I want to be with every day.
Man.
Yeah.
That's success to me. I do what I want every day with the people I want to do it with. I'd rather have that over cars and money every day, to be honest.
Yeah, it's freedom. Freedom's the thing what you strive for. It's not like the life, it's the freedom to do anything.
Yeah, man.
Like say, because like Sam mentioned there, you know, you look at, whenever you're younger and you look at success, it's like
Money and cars.
a nice car, you know, an amazing house, loads of money.
Yeah.
You know, that's what you look at, don't you, and think, yeah, it's like when I first started my relationship proper with Carl. my brother. So it was hit and miss really when we was younger because he's never really been that close with my dad since I've been obviously here. There was when he was younger, but then they sort of broke apart. So he used to come round now and then. So I was just an awkward lad. I was quite shy and everything like that, and especially around adults. And he used to come round and thought, yeah, it's cool. He's had like always looked fresh, haircut, tanned, good looking, and all that. I thought his role model. You know, I feel pretty nervous though because you know he's really, really high up there and everything. Yeah. I used to come in the room and I used to be on the game and I didn't even used to look at him, do you know what I mean, when he was speaking to me because I was shy, just a shy lad. But then he started the bond with me proper when I was about 16 or 18. I think he was 16. And then he took me to Gaucho's. I remember, obviously, restaurant, and I thought, fucking hell, I've never been anywhere like this. They're coming around with a big chopping board with loads of, which one would you like today, sir, and all that. I thought, yeah, this is what I want. And obviously I had the nice car and all that. So that was like a turning point for me where I thought it's good, like the freedom, someone coming over. Obviously it was the nice place as well, but it was like the freedom to just do whatever you want, you know, on your terms though, not like, because you can do whatever you want and go McDonald's and get a double cheeseburger, but it's to do whatever you want anywhere. That's what I think happiness is all about. That's with the people that you love.
The biggest thing that I'm striving for, mate, with sort of starting my coaching journey is success is offering the happiness and feeling of content that I've achieved, as well as the biggest thing that money can't buy is time. You know what I mean? Not having to leave my missus and kids for 8 hours a day and go to work. Even if I've got to work 40-hour days, but I'm around them. That's all that matters to me. The money's a bonus. Everything else is a bonus. My biggest sort of aspect of success is being with my family.
Money's the leverage to give you freedom, innit? It's obviously, really, it's about striving for money. Everyone's like, money, money, money. But it's because you're using it to leverage your life what you want. Because you can't do the life what you want without the money.
Definitely not.
To be honest, you can have be a loving home. You can be homeless and have a missus and kids, really, can't you? But then you think, well, living rough here, like this isn't enjoyable. So it's always really about the money, you know, whether we like to admit it or not. But only because it's not to have it stacks in the bank or anything like that. It's not because of that or think they're better than anyone or have the nice car. It's so you can leverage it to give back. You know, that's really what it is about. And I think people, when they're now reminded about money, it's because they've never had a pot to piss in, to be honest with you, and they've not got any ambition.
Because everybody wants a comfortable life, don't they?
You want to be at the stage of your life where you think nothing's too expensive for me. That's what I want to be at. Well, that's what I'm going to be at, do you know what I mean? For sure, So
good, mate.
That's the point, innit? So I think we've finalised the bloody podcast there. Have you got any end words for the fans out there? All 50 of them.
All 50.
Because there's only a few subscribers. You better subscribe.
Don't mean to sort of like sound corny, but I just want to show you two some gratitude. Because even though sort of the hard work that's been put in place over the past year has been done by me, I wouldn't have been able to get where I've got without you two. So
appreciate it.
Appreciate it, sir. Thanks for coming on the podcast. Keep your eyes peeled because Geoff's going to be a coach. So make sure you follow his Instagram. What is it?
Bearded Gorilla Performance.
Make sure you follow that one and keep your eyes in store.
And keep an eye on my page to see him winning his bodybuilding competition.
Yeah, what's your page, Sam?
Shredded by Sam.
An Active Physiques. So let's go.
Get following.